Welcome back everybody. Bet you can't guess what we're doing today, can you? There's a bit of a hint. Let's get on with it. There's also improvements down this side on the scrap pile. So, I have purchased these from Bunter's Yard. And they are, in fact, let me show you the packaging, if it's going to focus. So they're the 45-foot high cube shipping containers, and they're from Dapol. Now I noticed that Bunter's Yard now stock these on the website, so I reached out to him and I said, look, can you do me a huge favour? Any chance you could cut them down and make them low relief? It's exactly what he's done. So they would come normally as a one piece. He's cut them down and he's also weathered them for me. Now, I speak about Bunter's Yard a lot on this channel. I admire him, I look up to his work, I think he's just unbelievable at what he does. So, the idea now, the original idea was to treat this board as two halves. We'd have the railway side of the scrapyard with the coaches and things like that. And then on the left side, what I was going to do, I was going to have it as more of a sort of general public scrapyard, something like me and you would see, washing machines, all that sort of stuff. In typical fashion of Wayne's Locos, I have changed my mind. This whole board is now going to be related to the railway. The idea, as we've got coaches, we've got a bit of steam in this side, we're going to have shipping containers in the central bit, and on the left side we're going to have the diesel bodies, diesel cabs, that sort of thing. So these shipping containers are acting more like, I suppose, a seam brake to go from steam to diesel. So the question is, do we go 4 high like so? Do we go 3 high? Or do we go 2 and 2? Like so. I actually like the look of that. Let me just have a little play and I'll bring you back. God, the kids are running wild today. Right, first one, stuck in position. Next one is going to sit just on top. Sorry if my arm's in the way, but I need to get this right. Just like so. Just glue and a cocktail stick, super glue. Get that quick set. Right. Let's make sure it's the right way around. Knowing my luck, I'd do it upside down. So, just need to push it just for a few seconds, we don't have to stand here for ages, it's simply after all. It's also going to help hide that bubble a bit. When I first applied the backscene, as you saw, there were no bubbles whatsoever, but this one, I think it's from when I was spraying, you know, getting ready to put the PVA down to stick all the scrap stuff down. I think it's just caused by moisture, and I can't get it out. So we're just going to have to live with that, I'm afraid. So, am I going 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 4 and 4, 4 or 3? Well, I'm going 2 and 2. Just want to make sure it's not sitting at a funny angle. So this gap at the bottom, obviously I'm going to fill it with scrap, so it's going to be sort of mounded up like it is over on this section here. So it's going to look, it'll look like it's, you know, they've been there a long time. So I'm thinking something like that. Let's have a look on camera what it looks like. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. While I'm just sticking this on, I will just repeat myself and just say that these are Dapol shipping containers. They do not come low relief. That is custom from Bunter's Yard that I'm requested for, and they also do not come weathered, just in case you order some. and you think, well, they don't look the same. Well, personally, I think that looks unbelievable. I know I keep saying it, but Dave at Bunter's Yard is unbelievable at what he does. So the scrap pile that you can see in the bottom right hand corner, obviously that's now dried completely. But I've had a thought. It's sort of just a pile at the minute. I'm thinking of changing this pile, not changing it, but adding to it to make it run right up to the side of the board. So all this bit here, this gap won't be here, that will also be part of the pile. And the idea is, I like the idea of a Loco appearing from behind the scrap pile. Sorry about the chaos in the background, but same process as before. Well, that's the scrap pile extended, so now let's get this bottom bit blended in so there's no more gaps. I was hoping to get some weathering done today, but unfortunately I was cleaning out my airbrush and snapped the nozzle. I've got a new one on order, but it's not due until 17th, so it's the 9th today I think, so we've got a bit of time to wait, so any weathering will have to wait, unfortunately. Whilst I'm doing this, one thing I have sort of noticed with the scrapyard is currently everything's a bit neat and clean. So the plan is in the future, not just yet, maybe a couple of episodes away, something like that. The plan is to get some chaos going, I guess is probably the best way to describe it. You know, scrap between the rails and stuff, but carefully placed so it's not going to interfere with Locos. I think I'll do the whole board at once, and that'll be an episode on its own, because it'll be a bit tedious, because like I say, we've got to be careful where you place it between tracks and stuff. But it's looking a little bit neat at the minute, a bit like organised chaos at the minute, and we just want complete chaos. This glue that I'm putting down at the minute is just Mod Podge. If I just show you that, it's just a Mod Podge, it's matte, simply because I have run out of PVA, so I can't be bothered going to get some today. So I'll probably pick some up at work tomorrow. Get the bulk of it on now, shape it after, move it around afterwards. Well, I'm certainly happy with that. Bit of IPA, bit of glue. So because these are weathered and I'm about to spray IPA, it is highly important that we cover them, because the IPA will strip any varnish that's applied and eventually it'll strip the weathering. So just protect them, just spray what you need, move down. Like I say, IPA, it's a really good product, but if you're not careful with it, it'll strip everything. You've seen me do this a million times. Come in with the glue and just saturate it. This is the only PVA I've got left, watered down. I'm sure you can imagine, but I'm very happy with that. But this does lead me on to a problem that I have been trying to work my way around. Now, if I just move the camera without stopping the video, and the board would be pulled up to the edge roughly. Now, let's say I want to take some photographs. Well, the top's fine, but you can see the edge of the board and the table because it's such a slim board. So what I thought I'd do to get around that is create a bit of a scenic strip, if you like, which I just want to use, which I can just put in place basically when I'm taking photographs. The question is, I'm not really sure what to put on it. I was thinking like maybe a destroyed farm track with a bit of grass on, just a bit of greenery. I'm really not sure, but if you've got any ideas, I would really love to hear them in the comments, because photographs at the minute are quite an issue and it's quite difficult to get a good photo. So I have also got another purchase from Bunter's Yard, and that's these here, which are scrap stylages, stackable ones. And at this point I will just say, it's not a sponsored video or anything. Everything you've seen and I've spoken about I have paid for. It's just, his work is unbelievable and that's why I keep praising him. So if I get some of these out, the idea for these, they're going to be up in the corner. Just remembering that that's hard to stack from behind the camera. Just remembering that I need to leave room for the low relief diesel bodies and the diesel cabs. It's lost its focus. There we go. So there's 6 of them to work with. Small details, it all adds up. So I'll put them back for now. So 3D printed, so they're quite fragile. Don't want to break them. Now I'm left with a dilemma of what to do with this section. One option, I guess, is to have the site cab in there. Bit of the path, bit of fencing. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure really what to do in that area, so any suggestions, you know what to do. I recently picked up a few new Locos. Now, the Class 08 you've already seen, and I have actually weathered that, and I did make a video about it, but there is a segment in the video which is about 6 or 7 minutes long, where for some reason the file is corrupt. So unfortunately that video, I've had to scrap it, I'm afraid. I think I've shown you this, but I've not shown it weathered. This is my Ellis Clark Lomac. I have weathered it, as you can see. Nice and rusty. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is I've actually picked up a load for the back of it. Let me just get it out of the packaging. It is a Class 37 power unit from Westhill Wagon Works. It does need a lick of paint, so just ignore the fact that it's not painted. And let me just move the camera a bit. That'll sit somewhere in the scrapyard. Like I say, I need to paint it. That was what I was hoping to paint today. As I said earlier, the nozzle on my airbrush has snapped, so I need to wait for delivery. Whilst the engine fires up, this is my new sound fitted Class 20 in BR Blue. It's already weathered. I didn't weather it personally. This clip was recorded a few days ago, hence the reason there's no shipping containers. Class 20s, they've got to be in my top 3, even possibly top 2 Locos. I want to take this time to thank you all for watching. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's now time to pick that Lomac up.